Star Wars Eclipse's story reportedly will focus on politics, features new race. After months of radio silence, new Star Wars Eclipse details reveal that a potential new race and political drama will drive the story. Story details allegedly appear for Quantic Dream's RPG. New Star Wars Eclipse details have reportedly emerged, claiming the game will introduce a new race to the Star Wars universe. New details have emerged regarding the story of Star Wars Eclipse, a narrative-driven title being developed by Quantic Dream. Previously of Detroit, Become Human Prestige, the French developer and publisher working on Star Wars Eclipse has not released anything since 2018, as it only published Seas of Solitude, the director's cut for Nintendo Switch last year. Story details, including some of the main characters, have also been described in a new report from Sacred Symbols, paywalled, transcribed by VGC. The game, which was announced during the Game Awards last year, is reportedly still in very early production. This game, as far as I can tell, is not even really in production yet, said Sacred Symbols host Colin Moriarty. Star Wars Eclipse was first announced during the Game Awards last year, showcased through a spectacular cinematic trailer that functioned as little else other than tone setting. This made sense later when it was revealed that production on the title had barely started, with the trailer more intended to build hype and attract talent. It undoubtedly succeeded with the former, causing Star Wars fans and gamers alike to meticulously scour the internet and dissect the trailer for any details. Learning that Star Wars Eclipse was to be a narrative-driven title set during the newly established High Republic era, 200 years before the Skywalker saga, instilled quite a bit of hope. However, this was tempered once further details emerged regarding just how far away the game still is. The podcast then goes on to describe documents provided to them which appear to give an overview of one of the game's main characters, as well as their motivations. The podcast also notes that the game is being co-written by David Cage and Adam Williams, who have previously helmed other Quantic Dream titles. Materials seen by this podcast describe a so-called Project S, with a character named Sarah as the lead. Sarah is described as an athletic 30-something and is a member of a human-like race. This race is at the lead of some sort of empire called the Zeron, a race not seen in Star Wars before. It prides itself on political and military aggression, and similar to what you find elsewhere in Star Wars, there's little differentiation between males and females when it comes to roles and responsibilities. But there's an interesting wrinkle: when Zeron marries, their nuptials carry interesting military implications as they become one governing unit that works together. The recent findings, sourced from Sacred Symbols and transcribed by Video Games Chronicle, confirm existing rumors surrounding Star Wars Eclipse and provide a little insight into what the story may offer. David Cage and Adam Williams, previous lead writers for Quantic Dream titles, are confirmed to be at the very least co-writing for Star Wars Eclipse. Development is progressing on a so-called Project S, which seems to be a placeholder inspired by the main character's name, Sarah. Of particular interest is that she is described as one of the Zeron, which is a race not seen in Star Wars before. The Zeron value political and military aggression, with seemingly little differentiation between males and females. Allegedly, marriage will play a central role in their culture and the overarching narrative of Star Wars Eclipse, with the union bringing an expectation they become one governing unit that works together. Tension will arise from the clashing personalities of Sarah and her husband Zendo, the former a fanatical true believer in an empire, and the latter having a far softer touch. This is a problem, because Sarah, a fanatical true believer in the violence and criminality regularly demonstrated by her empire, is married to a character named Zendo, who is a far softer touch. Part of the game seems to revolve around these two characters and their relationship. This empire seemingly refers to the Zeron faction, not the Galactic Empire seen during the Skywalker era of Star Wars. Star Wars Eclipse takes place at least 200 years before Star Wars Episode I, The Phantom Menace. It's unclear if this plot is the one that will be used for the final game, as little to nothing official has emerged about the project since it was first announced during the Game Awards. Although the name Sarah sounds a little outside traditional Star Wars naming conventions, the details provided are rather promising, with a militaristic faction which deeply institutionalizes marriage ripe for compelling and delicate storytelling. Being set in the High Republic, there are very few established rules to follow regarding Star Wars canon, but Disney will no doubt have intense scrutiny over the project. Despite this, it would be wise to remain cautiously optimistic, as it has been reported that Quantic Dream is looking to fill a significant number of job openings, so it would not be surprising if Star Wars Eclipse experiences difficulties similar to the Knights of the Old Republic remake. In December, it was confirmed that Eclipse is set in the High Republic era. The game was announced during the Game Awards. Star Wars Eclipse is the first video game to be set in an uncharted region of the Outer Rim during the High Republic era, known as the Golden Age of the Jedi, Quantic Dream said. The game will build upon Quantic Dream's expertise in delivering deeply branching narratives and will go beyond their already established acclaim. Players' choices will be at the heart of the experience, as every decision can have a dramatic impact on the course of the story. The first trailer shows off impressive visuals, including footage of Yoda and the planet of Naboo. Star Wars Eclipse is currently in early development.